Howdy, y'all. My name is Ryan Robinson, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm happy to be up here as the chair of your ministerial search committee. And I'm going slightly off script to say how nice it is to be here to wish you a happy Pride Month here at the start of June. Audre Lorde once said, we are powerful because we have survived. And as part of that, the thing is to just survive and grow. So if you're celebrating this month, or if you're celebrating all year, hopefully you continue to survive and grow. If you're here for the first time, thank you for joining us. We look forward to getting to know you. We invite everyone present in the sanctuary today to join in our in-person coffee hour following the service. During our service, there's a time for sharing the joys and sorrows of our lives with one another. Cards for sharing your joys and sorrows are right back there on the table by the entrance to the sanctuary. We ask that you pick them up and fill them out prior to that section of the service. Social justice is one of our core values. This means that in our journey towards spiritual wholeness, we accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions as we work to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community. We're so glad that you're with us here today. We hope you find the service inspiring and meaningful.
Wonderful. Thank you, Linda. Good morning, and welcome to this first beautiful day of Pride Month. Woo! My name is Maria, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm honored to serve our congregation today as worship associate. As we light our chalice in the sanctuary, I invite those on Zoom to light a chalice or candle and to type your location in the chat. A lit chalice is the symbol of our faith as Unitarian Universalists, reminding us of those who risked everything for freedom and of our charge to carry that light forward. Our opening words today are by Reverend Hannah Roberts Villeneuve. People sometimes ask, is Pride a protest or a party? And the answer is, of course, yes. And why not? Why not rejoice as we resist? Dance as we demand change. Celebrate that we create community that delights in all of who we are. So bring all of that with you this morning. Bring your policy demands. Bring your glitter. Bring your Supreme Court broken heart. Bring your rainbow socks. How many of you are wearing rainbow socks today? Reverend Tammy's got on rainbow shoes. That counts. Bring the emptiness you feel for our siblings gone too soon. Bring your Gloria Estefan remix. Bring your tender hope for change. Bring your most garish eyeshadow. Bring your spirit, tattered and battered by a world that seems insistent on choosing fear and hate. Gather up all these things and bring them here to a place where we don't have to shoulder these burdens or celebrate the joys alone. Come, let us worship together.
Please rise and bow to your spirit as we join together in singing hymn 38, Morning Has Broken.
Would you please join me now in saying our covenant, which is on the screen and also in your bulletin. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. And now we're going to say our covenant in Spanish. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Vivar juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Please be seated. Our congregation is a very, very active community, and there are many ways to get involved. Here are a few announcements for today, but please check your bulletin that the usher handed to you for more details. Attention, UUI kids, youth, parents, guardians, grandparents, and volunteers. Today, after the service, please stay for lunch and our annual RE feedback meeting. This year, all of our sharing will be through games, fun activities, and treats. There will be treats, yes. And we'll finish no later than 2 p.m., so please join us. Also, mark your calendars for another delicious all-church pitch-in, which is next Sunday, June 8th, right after the service. After the pitch-in on June 8th, there is a multi-gen book discussion. And for more details on that, talk to Shelley Rich or Carla Cody. Check out the art on the walls. If you haven't gotten a chance before the service, do so after the service. The Fine Arts Committee presents the 3rd annual Spirit of Pride exhibition. Artwork by talented artists from UUI and beyond will be displayed for the month of June, and you may join us for light refreshments at the closing reception, which will be Sunday, June 29th at 12:15 p.m. Just a couple more, I promise. Butler University Farm is leading a tour at 1 p.m. today. So if you're interested in seeing the Butler Farm, just show up there at 1 p.m. And finally, our rummage sale, woo-woo, is coming up on June 28th. Who doesn't love a good rummage sale? This is a really important fundraiser for UUI, and we will need lots of volunteers, and we'll also need your wonderful donations. For more information, see Christine in the social hall during coffee hour. That concludes our announcements. Thank you.
There's so much going on in our community and many ways to share our lives together. So now, let us enter into the time in our service where we share the joys and sorrows of our lives with one another so that we may be held in community. As the music plays here in a moment, I invite people in the sanctuary to come up and drop a stone into the bowl if something is on your heart today. Please use both sides of the table. If you have written your joy or sorrow on the card, then please leave it in the basket here at the front and then be read aloud. Please note that the cards are the entrance near the sanctuary for pickup when you come in. For those of you on Zoom, we invite you to use the chat feature. Please put in all caps either joy or sorrow, plus your name and pronouns at the beginning of what you are sharing, if you'd like me to read it out loud in the sanctuary. You can also just symbolically drop a stone into the bowl by typing drop stone or DS into the chat. And yeah. There are just a few today to share. Pam O'Day shares a joy. Catherine has graduated from kindergarten. We have Susan, she, her, sharing a joy. Our son Neil and his wife Grace will arrive in Seattle today, where he will start a new job. Kevin, he, him, shares a joy. Pacers advancing in the playoffs. I hear that's a big deal. A sorrow, though, to share. The racial violence that occurred earlier this week in Fort Wayne. Alice shares a joy. I'm going to Ohio to see my grandpa. Brittany, my wonderful fiance, shares the joy that yesterday we had a plant walk with UUI and White Pine. It was very successful. We had about 35 people show up to clean up along the river and identify a bunch of plants. Thank you. May I say that it was also from the UUI Beacon Fund. If you guys are interested in that, you can ask somebody, surely. Charlotte, my daughter, additionally shares that there's a joy for the fact that we have Words for All Ages, which she calls story time. Yeah, she's very excited for that. Matt shares a sorrow. Prayers for Don Bonner. He has lost his cat, Annabello, to kidney failure this week. And lastly, we have a few more here. We have Lydia, she, her, sharing a joy and a sorrow. The joy is, I'm sad that I lost my first championship game of softball, but happy that I got to play with all of her friends. A joy from Sophia Madar. This is a very important one. It is Maria's final service as a worship associate, her mother, and she's online watching to support her and recognize that she has done what she's done in this position for the last 2 years. And she's put together some truly wonderful services, and her daughter's celebrating her hard work. So thank you, Maria, for your hard work. Again, a few more here. A joy from Sharon. Today, our granddaughter Brianna graduates and becomes a Purdue Boilermaker. Sorrow, we can't attend a live service today because of this. A mixed joy and sorrow from Briar, they, them. Never forget that the first Pride was a riot led by Black trans women and drag queens. They cannot erase our history, and let our fierce joy spite those who want to see us gone. There is no LGB without the T. Thank you. Very relevant. We have a sorrow/concern from Piero. He says that his sister-in-law, who's in the hospital from an ER visit, but she is on the mend. Though they may not be shared today, we know that there are many joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts and minds. Let us pause now for a moment of prayer or quiet meditation. I invite you to close your eyes, breathe slowly and deeply through your nose and into your belly. And as you open your eyes, keep your vision soft and notice your beloved community amongst you. Blessed be, and amen.
Spirit of life, come unto me. this is a time in our service when people of any age who would like to sit up front are all kinds of welcome to do so. I'm so excited. It is really cool to have the very first day of Pride Month be a Sunday so that we can all be together and start the party. But guess what? I'm not telling the story today. Gas, bum, bum, bum. Instead, we are about to share a recording of a drag queen story hour that was hosted by the Miami Children's Museum. I know, right? A drag queen is someone who loves to transform themselves with costume and makeup and fancy hair to explore different ways of expressing gender. What it means to be a boy or a girl or neither or both. And when Drag Queen Starry Hours started 10 years ago in San Francisco, California, which is really far away, the idea was that drag queens who aren't afraid to be themselves in great, big, beautiful ways would create a safe space where all kinds of kids and families could feel safe being themselves in great, big, beautiful ways too. So this is pretty cool. And it's something that makes sense to UUs, right? Like, we keep love at the center in all that we do, and our pluralism value calls us to be curious and respectful about the many ways that we are different from one another. But still, why do a drag queen story time in a church? Why make it the Words for All Ages, which is one of our most sacred moments? Because, beloveds, there are people in our communities who do not accept LGBTQIA+ people, or who maybe tolerate the L and the G, and then they just kind of go element of P with all the rest and kind of let it go. Who might belong to a family group or a church community that has some pretty narrow descriptions for how people are supposed to look and act and dress and love, and who say that if you don't fit into those boxes, you are bad. Often they behave as if there are no queer people in their family or in their church. But we know that's not true. There are queer people everywhere. It's just that in some places, people are afraid to be their full selves, and so they hide it. And that can be very sad and even dangerous for their hearts and their souls. And that is part of why Drag Queen Storytime is so very important. And you can imagine why folks who don't accept queer people might want drag queen story hours everywhere completely shut down. So when a church celebrates Drag Queen Story Hour and the heavens don't fall and everything is fine and in fact fabulous, that's powerful. It's important. It sets an example. So I hope everyone here will enjoy our time with Mix. And I'm going to come sit with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mix, that is MX period, similar to Mr. or Mrs., except that I am a mix. Today, what we are going to be reading is This Day in June by Gail E. Pittman, illustrated by Christina Litton. Now, this day in June is about the one day that we have the Pride Parade. You can see right here on the cover, everybody's gathering for the parade. All different walks of life, all different backgrounds coming together to celebrate Pride. Let's begin. All right. This day in June. This day in June, parade starts soon. Rainbow arches, joyful marches. We can see right here we have the rainbow arches. Over here, there are people all in the buildings looking out, waiting for the parade to begin. They got a nice view being that high up. Motors roaring, spirits soaring. Now this is my favorite part of the parade, these ladies on their motorcycles, because it always means the parade is beginning. In every single Pride parade, we always begin with all these ladies on their motorcycles. Voices chanting, doggies panting, a lot of dogs at Pride. It's a nice day out in June. Good day to bring your doggy out. Have a fun time. Clad in leather, perfect weather. Now this page, I don't know if I quite agree that perfect weather in June. So hot. I don't know, leather? Leather in June? I don't know. But all these people seem like they're just happy in it, so I'm not going to make a stink about it. Artists painting, sisters sainting. Now these gorgeous sisters are the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They're a group of nuns that helped out a lot of the LGBTQ community for the past 30, 40 years. You can see they have a very funky, cool style. I like this one right here. We both have a little bit of a bearded lady going on there. Banners swaying, children playing. Everybody holding their banners up, everybody having fun, having a good time. Fun day. Dancers jumping, music pumping. The LGBTQ community, we love our music, we love to dance. Sidewalk shaking, tummies aching. Ooh, make sure to bring some water, some granola, something to snack on. It's a long, hot day in June. For the parade, we don't want to get any tummy aches now, do we? Always bring some water, bring a little snack. Painted ladies, crying babies. Here we have the Human Rights Campaign. That's the yellow equal sign with the blue right here. That's the Human Rights Campaign. Does a lot of work politically for the LGBTQ community. Fancy dresses, flowing tresses. These are my people. These are drag queens. You'll see them in every single Pride parade, no matter what. Loving kisses, so delicious. All these couples showing their love. All invited, all excited. Now what do we notice here? We see a lot of different types of shoes. We have heels, boots, sneakers, high heels, short heels, cowboy boots. All different type of shoes, meaning different type of people coming together. That's what Pride is all about. Celebrating our differences and coming together united. This day in June, we are all united. And look at everybody. Everybody coming together.
So much for coming to Storytime with Mix. I know, they're so cool. And guess what? We're gonna sing our way straight out to the playground. Woohoo! Thank you.
Open to the learning, may your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
I am thrilled to welcome back Reverend Tammy Mills to the pulpit today. Her journey, she says, has been a long and winding road, starting with a teaching degree from Ball State University, followed by a Master of Divinity from Anderson University. She served as a United Methodist minister for 10 years and then spent 4 years at Metropolitan Community Church. For the past 20 years, she's been part of the Oaklandon UU community, serving as part-time pastor for the past 6 years. She also recently retired after 22 years as a behavior mentor and teacher in Lawrence Township Schools. Starting September 1st, she'll begin a new chapter in her career as part-time associate pastor at Broadway United Methodist Church. She is wife to Nancy, mama to Grace Amar, Maddie, Wes, and various furry and scaly family members. When she's not in the pulpit, you'll find her training for her first ultra marathon, the Full Mo, driving her Jeep named Wicked, or building cool things with Legos. Let's give Reverend Tammy a warm welcome back to UUI.
Sat a little too long. Let's see here. I need to update the bio a bit. I was training for the Full Mo. I am no longer training for the Full Mo. The Full Mo is over. Woo! Ta-da! I ran it yesterday. If anybody was on the Monon Trail, you would have seen me chugging along. They dropped us off. Well, we got dropped off in Sheridan, Indiana, which is out in the middle of nowhere. And if you were, I find that part of the world a little scary. And they dropped us off, or we started there, and we ran the full Monon Trail, and well, added a little loop just so we got the right exact distance. And we ran 31.2 miles. Woo! So if you notice I'm moving a little slow, or my brain, I don't know, sometimes after you run that far, sometimes my brain just kind of like, I don't know, I get a little loopy, so I'm very emotional. I don't know, something to do with adrenaline, so, but that's where I'm at. So you're literally getting me like 24 hours after the race, so, woo! Woo! We'll see where it goes. But look, I'm standing up, I'm moving, yeah, there we go. It feels good, shake it out a little bit. And I am so excited I'm here on June 1st. Yeah! I love Pride Month. It's my people's month. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm a queer lady, okay? And I noticed the drag queen referred to those ladies on motorcycles. Those aren't ladies on motorcycles. Those are dykes on bikes, people. Let's call it what it is. Let's speak. The only drag queen would call them ladies on motorcycles. Those are dykes on bikes. And I have to say this in case any of my children are listening, because they've heard me say this every year since they were born when we go to the Pride. We always go to the Pride Parade and all that kind of stuff. And I would always tell them, oh, children, I remember when I would come to Indianapolis to the Pride Parade and there were more protesters than there were participants. Woo! And one of those participant groups always was Dykes on Bikes. I think they have always been there. I've been going a lot of, because when I say my bio long and windy, it's been long, so I've been going a lot of years. So I just want to say, as I talk about in this message, Power of Pride, it's coming from the perspective of someone who has lived in the queer community in various ways, and it's going to kind of come from that perspective, and I'm going to share that with you, and that's who I am. And I'll share a little bit of my story in that, because I think it seems appropriate and important as we start this Pride Month, that you know it's coming from that direction. So I may say some things, you're like, whoa, can she say that? As who is it on the late night shows? I can say that because I'm a queer woman. I get to say that. And so you may hear some things like that, and I just want to kind of preface with that. So I want to talk a little bit today about the power of pride and why it is so important that we begin to talk about that and understand that. And I want us to take it deeper. Everybody say deeper. Oh my goodness. Did you not hear that? I worked 22 years in an elementary school. I had to remind you last time, I'll remind you again. I like a little feedback. We got to take it a little deeper and a little stronger. Because pride is about a party and a protest, okay? And if there's any time you can get loud and rowdy, it is at Pride, okay? So it's okay. And we're going to take it that, because I want us to begin to understand and accept that it is something that is more than just lifting up our true colors, which I love. Thank you for playing that. I love that. Because our true colors are the vibrancy of the beautifulness, but they're also those other things that are in between the colors too. It's both and. It is beauty and it is pain. It is gorgeousness and it is spectacular, and it is also painful, and it is filled with all kinds of prisons of our own making. So it's both and I want us to think about that today. And I really want us to hold on to that and understand that as we take this Pride Month. And I am so glad that I am in a Unitarian Universalist church. Everybody say yes. Because I can talk about both those things, and you get that, and you understand that, and we can own that, and we can celebrate that, and we can take it deeper and farther and embrace it and grow in it and understand that as we continue to fight for justice. I started to say truth, justice in the American way. That's what I mean. After you run that far, your brain just goes to Marvel and all kinds of places. So I apologize for that moment of that. So I want us to really focus in on what it means, the power of pride, and how we can all begin to connect into that, and why it is so important that we think about that. As often is true with me, and it's probably because of my 22 years of elementary teaching, I was taken back to a book. And I'm not going to read it to you, but many of you may know this book. It's a very important book in the life of all of us, okay? And maybe this book's important to me because in the 3rd grade, I don't want to brag, but I played the role of Grover. And it's called The Monster at the End of the Book. And it's a very simple preface, but Grover, if you open up the book, he says, hey, don't read any more pages. Please don't open another page of this book, okay? Oh my gosh, there's a monster at the end of this book. And if you open another page, that monster's gonna come out and get you. Oh my gosh, don't open another page. Dude, don't open another page. If you open another page, that monster is going to get you. Don't open it. I mean, he goes on, and he bricks up the pages. He ties the pages. And as the mom reading to your kids, you just keep turning the pages, and they're like, oh, I don't think you should. Or as the teacher, and it just, you feel the tension in the room, and you just keep turning the pages. And then ultimately, you get to that last page, and you turn that last page, and you know what you find? You find a monster at the end. But you know what monster you find? It's Grover. It's huggable, lovable, little old me, he says, Grover. That, my friends, is what I want to talk about. The power of pride. Pride, for me, is finally having the courage to open the book and open the pages and discover the beauty that's inside. That lovable, beautiful little monster is Grover. You see, we live in a culture, we live in a time, we grow up in a familia context, whatever you want to call it, that may have told us, you may be GLBTQIA or you may be something else. I'm guessing that all of us heard some messages that told us that monster, that if we go to the end of the book and discover it, doesn't fit, doesn't belong, isn't beautiful, and we cannot have pride in that authenticness that is us. But the power of pride, the power of this month teaches us that if we keep opening that book, whatever that is, that beauty that we're so afraid to find at the end of the book, that beauty that is authentically us, is beauty. They can try to legislate it out of us. They can try to tell us it doesn't belong, it doesn't fit, it's not this, it's not that, and it doesn't whatever. But pride calls to us and says, hey, it's beauty. It's the beauty that's inside of you, and it belongs, all of you. I would like to say that pride is that authentic beauty that resides in you. Some of you will say to me, but Mills, man, pride, too much pride's a bad thing. I suppose too much pride is a bad thing, but I don't really know that many people that have too much pride. We know a few. I'm not going to name any names. Some of them reside in certain places, certain addresses that, you know what I mean. But we need maybe a little more in understanding. Pride is that beauty, that authenticness that is you, that we can begin to embrace and accept. a song. There's a musician, Joy Oladokin. Does anybody know Joy? Not personally, maybe. I mean, if you do know her personally, hook me up. The girl is on fire. I love her. She's I don't love, I do love, I would, if I ever met her, I'd be starstruck and everything because she's, okay, I digress. But she's an excellent musician. She plays the guitar. She speaks from the heart. If you follow her on Insta, look at me, I'm 60 and I'm saying things like Insta. You guys got to appreciate that, don't you? Okay, she's on Insta. She's got a follower and all that, but she's very real. And when she's going through rough times, I really appreciate her on lots of levels. But she wrote this great song, and the song's called Pride. Get in your music and find it. But she too defines pride as the beauty that lives inside of you, and that's what I would challenge to. This is June 1st. What is the beauty that lives inside of you? What is that beauty that the world has told you is a monster? Perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's a true color that is beautiful. And this month, thank you to our GLBTQIA brothers and sisters, we are empowered to find that and to see that beauty that lives inside you. I'm just going to quote from her song, just one little quote. It's easy to forget there's nothing wrong. And the voices that make you doubt, they all have issues of their own. There are those that try to cut you down, but those voices, they're really just scared of their own truth. It's easy to forget that they are people just like you, you know? We all have that beauty, that authenticness, and what is yours? And I can only speak from my own authenticness. But I know as a little girl who grew up in good old rural Indiana, let's hear it for rural Indiana, which reminded me a lot of Sheridan, Indiana, where I got dropped off yesterday. God loved rural Indiana, but I knew from an early age I was a little lesbian girl. I didn't have a name for it at the time, but I knew there was something definitely different about me. And I didn't know what it was, couldn't really name it, couldn't claim it, but I knew things weren't working out for me the way they were with all the other girls I was hanging, all my friends. I was different. I could feel it, I knew it in my bones, but I had no word for it. I also was being raised in a very, very right-leaning Christian conservative environment, and where I knew that there was only one way to be, and that was the way they told me to be. And I also knew in my bones that wasn't the way I was. And so that monster was not lovable, and I knew that. So I walled it in, I locked it in, I tied it in, I did everything I could, to hide it away, because that monster couldn't possibly be lovable. My family said it wasn't lovable. The church that we went to, every time the door was open, let's hear it for those kind of churches, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever the door was open, they were there. But anyway, I was told that, and there's some of those things, but that's how that plays out in the world. And you get told that authenticness that's you. Even when I didn't even have a name for it, I didn't know what it was. It was only as I got older. I didn't have the internet or anything. Took me a while to figure it out. Imagine having the internet now and be able just to kind of surf. Okay, I'm having these feelings, wonder what this is. Just to be a whole new concept. Didn't have that. By the time I figured it out, I knew by then it was really bad. And this authenticness that was certainly a part of me better stay walled off for a very long time. And that's the way it remained, And the things I did with my life were really just screaming out, don't turn the page. Don't turn the page. Oh my gosh, if you turn the page, oh my gosh, there is a monster there that we don't want to unleash. The world has told me, the world has actually even made laws against this monster that lives in me. That's just the truth. And it's the truth for some of you, based on your skin color, based on who you love, based on a lot of different things. The world has made these, and that's how we grow up, and then we get a little older and we realize that is truth. And so the way we live our lives in becomes this shout into the world to not open that book. Now, we could go on with my story for a long time, but I'm not going to do that. The bottom line is eventually I walked into a Unitarian Universalist church, eventually. After a lot of screaming at people, don't open the book. You know, even after my United Methodist Church opened the book and they said, yes, it is hideous. And get the heck out of here, sister. But I walked into a Unitarian Universalist church eventually, and I'm just going to read to you because I think this being June 1st, oh my goodness. Oh, let's see, hope I can find it. Oh my Lord. Is Lord a word? I don't, it's probably not. I say it a lot, but I have it here somewhere. We're not going to despair. You're not despairing, are you? Okay, good. Don't despair. Because I wrote it down exactly. Oh, look, I found it. See? It's all coming back to me now. But this being June 1st, I thought we should quote probably exactly. This is Unitarian stuff, Unitarian Universal stuff. Here's what this movement says, and this is what I walked into. Each of us has worth and dignity, and that worth includes our gender and our sexuality. And as Unitarian Universalists, we not only open our doors to people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, we value diversity of sexuality and gender and see it as a spiritual gift. We create inclusive religious communities and work for LGBTQIA justice and equity as a core part of who we are. All of who you are is sacred. All of who you are is welcome. I walked into a Unitarian Universalist church, and as scared as I was to open that last page, when I opened finally that last page, that's what I found. Those words that allowed me then to really begin to heal and to see that lovable monster was really me. I would put that then out to you all as well. This month allows us that same privilege. Those words, no matter where you fall on the spectrum of gender and sexuality and all that, whatever you might have that's locked in that book, whatever monster you may think lives there, I would invite you through this lens of all are welcome here and all of who you are is sacred, to begin to think in that way, that that monster is maybe lovable Grover, lovable Tammy, lovable whoever you are. That, my friends, I believe, is what I'm coming to believe is the power of pride. I love Pride Month. I'll be out there marching. I'm going to have my flag up. You know I am. I have a book that I've already got to read to my grandchildren, which I don't have any, thankfully, because I'm not old enough to be a grandma. I mean, come on, I just ran an ultramarathon. I can possibly be a grandma. But when they're ready, it's called The Night Before Pride, and I'm going to read it to them. It's going to be great. It's already got it figured out. And I'm big on all that. And I am so grateful for this Unitarian Universalists and GLBTQIA. That lift that up and say to me and remind me that all of who you are is sacred and welcome. So no matter who you are, if you don't hear anything else this Pride Month, know you're welcome here. No matter how many bricks or strings or whatever you've done to wall off that back page, I challenge you to heal and to open and get to know that monster a little bit. Because it's okay to get to know that beauty. The world may have told you it isn't beautiful, but let's open that back page and maybe the world is wrong. I think the world was wrong about me. I got my flaws. Okay, I'll admit it, I got my flaws. But the flaws that the world told me, those weren't my flaws. They should have told me a few other things. I can be a bit greedy, a bit egocentric. I mean, I'll call my wife. She'll give you the list, okay? And those are true. But the ones that the world told me, the ones that the world legislates against and all that, those were never. And I'm guessing that's probably true for you as well. The power of pride. I think of pride now as that beauty that resides in you. Get to know it, embrace it, put it on the flag, fly it high. I'm just going to end with one last metaphor. Anybody see, which probably due to the marathon, but because I didn't write it down here, but it just keeps going through my head, so I'm just going to say it. Anybody see the musical Shrek? Let your freak flag fly. That's all I can think of right now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and that's the power of pride. Open the book. It's a lovable monster. Don't let the world tell you otherwise. Thank you, Unitarian Universalists, for loving us all exactly as we are and knowing that we're all not only loving, but you're sacred. All of you, the complexity of it, and it is complex, but you're sacred. Power of pride. Everybody say, power of pride. Power of pride. Power of pride. Just for fun, everybody say, lovable Grover. Lovable Grover. You got it. Thank you.
Every month, UUI gives half of the Sunday collection to a cause chosen by our Social Justice Committee. This month, the share of the plate offering will go to Trinity Haven. Trinity Haven is based in Indianapolis. It is Indiana's first residential program specifically for LGBTQ plus youth, ages 16 to 24, who are experiencing housing instability. LGBTQ plus youth are at much higher risk of homelessness and avoid traditional shelters because of the fear of discrimination. Trinity Haven steps in to meet this urgent need with inclusive supportive care that truly makes a difference. Their services include long-term transitional housing, short-term host home placements, and personalized support, including case management, education assistance, and healthy meals, mental health support, and life coaching. Your donations empower LGBTQ plus youth to build stable, independent lives. To give, you can use your smartphone and text donation amount along with the word share to the number in your bulletin or in the Zoom chat or here behind us. You can also give at UUI here in the sanctuary. The ushers will come around in a bit with collection baskets. We now welcome your offering with gratitude. May it be given with a spirit of generosity and joy. Thank you for your generosity. Additional little announcement here, by the way, the Central Indiana UUs will be marching in the Pride Parade on June 14th. See Mariah Arkins for more info. Our closing words today are by Reverend William G. Singford. He says, "We are here today because we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Pride is not just a celebration, it is a declaration that each of us is worthy of love, respect, and equality. May we carry this truth in our hearts and let it guide our actions as we continue to work for justice and liberation for all."
Please rise and body your spirit as we join together in singing hymn 1053, How Could Anyone? We'll sing this through twice.
How could anyone ever tell
Please join me in our extinguishing words on the screen or printed in your order of service. Now we extinguish the flame of our chalice, but not the light of understanding, the warmth of compassion, or the fire of commitment. Let us keep those with us until we meet again. Go in peace.